and I see a debra our bobo no ye name ya ba MENSAH-OWUSU and a between komo. And that's also the empire be hono. When it comes to sika and that's a financial burden a idea obi biara or diaspora and also obi biara we suffer the no takes interest into it. When we did a poll on the topic that won for it such a great one in there me no near babe twetwe ho komo no no in the topic no breaking generational money shortage and investing in our kids, and I say investing in your kids. That is the topic for tonight. And again, like I said, our sister MELLICENT-OWUSU will be leading today's show. Without much ado, no me be konya kodabo afo ase so botimi eso ya cinema di dwumedi ebra wo nda nwumre tissue ne di kan ye feel good services or so opa bia and also opa obi obetimi ene akasa concerning anything that has to do with mental health permit check on your feel good services at gmail.com. The feel good service na me kan for ma oni webusia enyina Sasu na feel good homes SS opa bia do tibeto da bibia be koso kama omo Airbnb no asoko entibra na wo so ebeje wo de neti efako omo contact number here +1513 372 5758 and I say Ghana number there +233 208 149 504 and my email address now so betime nyomo ho e wo feelgoodservices@gmail.com ebiom omo so pe fie so out of so a omo nice houses are almost see omo ton we ewo East Legon Hills apartment no so ewo East Legon Hills ebi so ewo Adjungano and ebi so ewo Pokwase it's $35 cool chop umpe we na pedien men kasama anka nchira fro nya na onya so intimi and living interest of it saso na make for Oswald Wellness ama LLC open family nurse practitioner papa obetimi aboa concerning IV hydration or all those services or betimi primary care so ebiom say weight management na hwehwe or betimi aboa ama bibia koso kama they are licensed in both Ohio and Maryland. So if you happen to be a resident of Ohio and Maryland now, call this number 513-268-2740 and they will take care of you as much as possible. Fighting financial ignorance in America, you about MELLICENT-OWUSU and on any between Kobono, set a life insurance now, and now say about college fund and income protection. See, there's one thing to have the income and there's another thing to protect the income that you have. And no crime topic in there be treated in there no break generational money shortage. You know about MELLICENT-OWUSU is a licensed financial professional and she can help you fight ignorance, financial ignorance in America. Freno Ewa 937-321-2270 and that's 937-270-9882 for our CPK. And a smile. Now be sure our time with that upset into no. Now this can be will be another amount, and she will be taking the time to walk you through the process. Come on. Yeah, that must say. Payment and kasa tap upset the only app, and I said when kasa app on numero uno. Yes, download the app no ever Google Play Store and I say or App Store. Now we are for promo code Nation PK P-KAY. All the shame we are. Obenya $15 on your first transaction. $15. Ebiom $15. Where we are no, also try screenshot na send mami so a besa so to mobile tobacco ma just me. That was the true news pedede. So where you see the da Mr. Fama unya na unya so nyusu. So ugusu yusu da unya so gusu yusu de ana monko so anse nisika enkofi na ebusuafo and take advantage of it. Wallet system no so no e wo hodom enti so we take advantage of the wallet system. The way dollar ni air drop no wo enka your dollar is safe, your dollar is secured and your wallet will always be your friend. Sabre no yebeda mase na afede ya kwakoje updates from Tatap Send akache. Na ye buy any name by MELLICENT ashishan kobono so. Director, one pump design. Yeah, train director na me fa kwenye so akache BBR say happy Mother's Day kesia pa. Enkoma all the mothers are the Misramo Emano mama your wives and sisters and say Mother's Day. Until when we say mama and mommy also enjoy kakra why when your wives day when your sisters day when your Mother's Day saa so na enklana your man so no celebrate mo maame mo cause sabi obi wo ne ba no order ne ti so it is all maame e wo wanda wuti so no ahwe wo nya bedu bebi odi producer director they say ohwe wa kama ni nyina ye ne maame into the producer I know from maame na pay $1,000 bi ama no through that upset. Director Bob to say why you ready?
Nyame adom PK.
Wa anya fast.
What me can say? I wish I for be at me can. I think an Indian can PK me audio.
Kama director kwa ba ya.
Hello.
Director what me ka dey?
Me dey me te wonka pa. Me te wonka.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I wish I for be at me
from that upset na catch.
Okay, PK me say senka wa anya fast and can be busa say na eno a utimi efro maame e wish na happy birthday happy Mother's Day dear. Because to the way I say akora born one wish your maame happy Mother's Day pa me utimi ye dear.
Director ko asem so.
There be when you no aye nto aso utimi wish ye dear.
Sure no and family it's not about me, it's about the viewers.
Okay.
It was show this.
Me can say wonye. Wo de nya hwe. Ye wi a be pe e bia kokoro mommy. I wish for happy Mother's Day, happy belated Mother's Day to everybody on the show. Any omo mutie or and 10 times so in our Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. So PK and Timan can yeah, me suma repeat ya mama. Come on. PK, kakra bi ne waka ene. Ye breaky news back or hanom. For the first time this month, ye be promotion no US, Canada no. Ewo show yi so to be nye ready na obi am participate until when no ebe live here with the updates on the app. Let me just
for season beyan.
Mother's Day, so we are celebrating
okay.
our mothers throughout this month.
Oh, nice.
So ending of the month we will do a wheel picker where Obi will fall into that category, will come and then be picky naja ya na hanom yenye ne Europe nko a se ye de bia ba ha sei nti abusuafo mo abusuafo ni nyina amra show ne so na nye kama PK I think say one or two things bia I was meka na your customers na ni da ho na ye use ye app on safe fraud for na ho abobom. I think I've been repeating this ehia me because fraud for new year, sikani we say or reach out. Sometimes it's so pathetic, you don't know what to do. Until yes, say or money better horse since ABC and San ya go after them. Into me it's very short. Obi be throw phone so say number B, whatever story the person will put out, say number B about phone so Miss Remo, don't give that number out. That number is only actually passcode is only for you alone. Mr. Mamo share because Osha you risk your bank details, you risk your Google account, you risk your tap account. Nti Mr. Mamo Fama. Unya email be na so na se enko try to verify it. Don't just answer any email be unya call be na so doubt to I mean, I had you come here every week until you make yourself comfortable with PK and all the ambassadors here, so you can verify where the call is coming from before you take any action. Now with the wallet and also PK, I think you be until very soon will be our America will get access to the wallet into a great thing. Pay card and also now we've added PayPal to it. Which is a very good thing. Na baby also Canada and easy for you to use to send money back home. The next thing we are also doing right now, I think because I may content man not stopping me because last time I said me reading fast.
Oh no, you're doing very well.
Okay, and then the next thing we trying to bring on board and say I think escape America for the most panty. Yeah, share that iron in such a way says you know. Oh, ritual limiter, you can see the amount you are sending and limit now will get it close to until you can control it and then actually send documents needed, before even the limits are not hit. Yes, I feel now agitation, yeah, but we information prior to time I will do limit to be. So for now, this is the little we have to update our customers here.
All
If
right.
there's a question, we are ready to answer, and we are moving
Well, I
on.
think so there'll be a lot of questions when we get to the Q&A section of in the new media. No, as it stand right now, no, it looks like say OBBRI are ready for the topic at hand. And like I said, me pachawa abaso for no. Please take this opportunity to share the link with your friends and loved ones. Again, and I'm gonna find Chai said you media no, yeah, shall say 10 minutes late. Ni ye mu anane ne yɛhwehwɛ nti no yɛdɛ mo ase ɛne mo abɔtrɛ amanya for no adwumadie no and the questions no nyinaa so mofa mbra because ɛnwa ba MILLICENT, she's very knowledgeable and she's ready to answer. Director, yɛdɛ mo ase so for the update from Startup Center Akache. And nti ne sɛ na wɔkyerɛ no there will be some announcement of Mother Day na.
Yeah, you do Q&A session now. E-class will put across
Okay,
the
ka kum yɛ ti no kwaku na so na ti yi nti no sɛ na ɔkaeɛ no no
I mean, kwaku so sao PK.
ɛnyɛ me na mebu bɛ no nti wo asɛm a ɔne nananom nkɔka nti no sɛ na ɔkaeɛ no no director sɛ yɛ po a obiara ntam twuku join the Q&A session biribiara so bɛkɔ so kamakama saa so na mɛda me nwa ba ɔbaa se sɛ metie m'akyi kakra no otimi ejina afidie n'anim edu dwumadie ma ne kɔ so kamakama ne monitor mo Ghana de pa nice one.
PK, can I just put something across?
No problem.
I think it wouldn't be nice, man. Can what happened Enra this year? I think there was a surprise gift to be randomly Sunday or churches. I think ambassadors in the call round a surprise gift to be giving out some present be. I mean, we are thinking of replicating this more times. Into Enra will be a no. At least betimi who say tap no ye chairman ne so obi aso nti wo ha na unya bia you never know when also the ebeba why typically I just wanted to put that across.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Miss MILLICENT, one point to say.
Nyamia do mo mpacho nso ai.
Nyamia do bia boko ebusuafo se yepesi esua ade ene yepesi eti ase when it comes to how a bit break generational money shortage and I say ebusua bi on the here dokre musa we ba no be here we ba no be here, how can we break that and how can we invest in our children? So you already know so I come around on my and I say obekasa na afidie ya to so my but I know say with you it's gonna be in English, and also most of our guests also likes it in English so that they can perfectly understand what is going on. And for us to send a message out in full length and that's a full-fledged, we would like for it to be in English so that it'll make you more comfortable. So at this point, walk us through how. First of all, one may think, say, how can there be a generational shortage of money in the family? And how can one break out of that? Because not too many in Penifo baby say, yeah, we'll see a CS, so I won't change it yet. So usually people that are born into money easily make money. This is sebi I've been in shada nye juma nene do abuse now abuse it no. But most of the times, they grow up seeing what it becomes a family legacy. They grow up see what the parents are doing and they end up indulging into it as well. But most people also, just like the rich kid, end up being rich because the family is rich. The poor kid also end up being poor because all they knew was basically paycheck to paycheck or nyebediewu and then nyebediada. So in that regards, how can we stop this generational shortage of money? Walk us through the process of what you have for us today.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, for giving me the opportunity to be here tonight.
Thank you for coming.
All right. Tree back now kind of I said
oh, so basically if you're born on a pedestal now, it's easier for you to get taller, because you already have a leverage in life. You already have a height to stand on. So that is you will to see as well. They say ant hill.
Uh, uh, I mean, with near PK, Canada would be like, to me, old mentality, say you would to scheme. But we say, yeah, Christopher, dear, you say, by the grace of God, dear, Yankopon, he has given us the knowledge to unlock some of the things that we have no knowledge about. And also to say, to be I would say one of the wealthiest land, based on where you are, US, Canada, or Europe. Even if you don't have it now where you are, there are things that you can do to unlock your financial wealth or the traditional knowledge now, or the wealth that you need in that family. Well, unlocking the financial wisdom. What do we know and what we don't know in this country? I would say when it comes to us investing in our kids, we always will say, hey, there is what financial aid that will take you through. Or finish and go do what you want to do. Or go get a student loan, which student loan also it's not free. After getting done with school, then it's just chasing you around. You will not even have enough with the money that you are making even to make it. So investing in our kids makes the difference. Some have the knowledge to do that, some don't. But there's nothing too late. If you're here, I mean, I would say, bear with me. This information, I think I've shared this information before, but some of the information which is not here is only internal use. So once we are done, you call me, we can sit one-on-one and I can put in figures for you and you can see, I mean, whatever that I'm saying here will make sense to you more once you sit one-on-one with me. Okay. So these are some of the companies that I work with, and there are many more that are not shown here. They have been around over 120 years. So it's not like we're just working with one company. There's a lot of companies that we work with. Since we're going to talk about the kids, because with what we do, the guardians or caregivers or parent are the owners of the policy. I would like to share just more information or some of the benefit that they can also get if they are on their kids' policy. So living benefit, you can get if someone has a critical illness, chronic illness, terminal illness, they are able to take 90%. So whilst the child is there or the owner, something happens, they can able to take some of the money out of that account. When we talk about critical illness, we're talking about heart attack, stroke, we're talking about major organ transplant and many more that are not shown here. I know when somebody would say, you know what, I have not been in this country that long, so I cannot unlock or I cannot do some of the things that they are saying. One question I will ask, if you have been here even a day old, you have been here working, you are able to unlock. Because remember, if God forbid something happens to you, that you can no longer assist your child to school. The reason why we said you can take some of this money, you can use the money to assist your child when they are in school. Have we come across situations whereby parent, something, God forbid, something has happened to the parent that they can not, assist the kids? Yes, we have. We have seen multiple different of situations that has rise whereby the parent cannot no longer go to work, but then their kids stuck in school and they can no longer assist them, financially. So if they have this, they have the opportunity to take money out and then help them out in that situation. Um, I know somebody was saying, hey, probate court. Well, if I have a child that I have an account on, we'll talk more. That's why I'm just showing everything here. Well, you talk about probate court. If I have account, that will be frozen if my name is on it. Except for these two accounts, the index annuities or the life insurance, which we with the kids, we dive more into the life insurance. Once you have that, a lot of people don't know that you can do life insurance for your kids as they are young. You can use that to assist your kids when something happens. I'm not talking about kid being sick or something like that, but when they are in school. The money that we generate or the profit that we generate in their policy can take them to school. And like I said, it will make more sense to you once I open up the information, one-on-one with you. And that account will not go through probate. So we have 4 types of life insurance. I know we've talked about it, but the one that will assist your child, that is the one that we will talk more about and those benefits. Group life insurance, most people get it through their employees, full or part-time employees get it through their workplaces. There are disadvantages to that. Your coverage ends when you leave your job. So that will not even cover your child. To get money for your child to go to college. Once you change your job, you no longer have it. If something happens that you are no more, you will no longer have it as well. That person who is covered alone has to cover it through work, and they have to die at their workplaces. My question is, who determines where they want to die? Giving an example, let's say we have Mr. Smith who clocks in at work at 8 a.m. or let's say 7 a.m. Something happens, he has a headache, he called the paramedics, they take him to the hospital, he couldn't make it, he no longer has this coverage because he did not die at the work premises, even though he clocked in, he did not have it. Now, whilst he's still living, you cannot take anything out. So if you have a child that you have put them on as a beneficiary, nothing covers them. If you are still alive, or if you are sick, you are retired, your coverage ends. And most of the time, only 0.9% payout. It is not even considered life insurance traditionally. It is deceptive. And most people, when they have it, they think they have life insurance, but they don't. Term life insurance, this is where we see a lot of our, we call it our homies have it. It is very cheap. You see the ads on TVs bang out of places. You have to have it for 10, 15, or 20 years. But when you have the one that your child will benefit from it, you're going to see that 10 years or 15 years, your child can have it for a long period of time. For internal use, I cannot share some of the stuff. Once I do one-on-one, I will be able to share more, so you can know that by the time your child is in school, they can also get about 80,000 or 100,000, depending on what you choose. With this, your premium increase. Most of the time, you are gambling with your life. How can you get an insurance that is 10, 15, or 30 years, and you have to die within that period before that covers you? Only 98% people, they don't have it. Only 2% pay out to the people. And the 2% are sudden death, plane crash, car accident, or gunshot. All life insurance that goes to age 100, the premium that you pay remain the same. Cash accumulation. So being said, cash accumulation may be. So depending on the whole life that you have, we have the participating and non-participating. Disadvantages, it is more expensive. no benefit whilst you as the owner, you are still alive, or the insured. There is nothing benefit there. No cash accumulation guarantee there for you. So this is the best kept secret that we always talk about in America. It is the disadvantages. You only has to pass health physicals. It is not everybody that get health physicals. I mean, with a shock, Friday I did somebody's policy around 8 a.m. By 2 p.m. that person got approved. Myself, I was shocked. That's how I mean how it works. I have done some people that is taking a couple of days. Some people take a month. So everybody, it depends. And it sounds too good to be true. So when most people, sometimes when we talk about this is what, when you create this account for your child, everybody, can qualify once we go through some of the questions, and then they will determine. You can have this policy as age 0. At age 0, you can have this policy for your child. If, let's say, somebody gave birth today, and by the time their child attend college, depending on how much they put in, they can get the money for that to cover their child for their education. So you can see, once we generate your policy for you, something that will fit you, because everybody is different and every face amount is different. You're going to see how much compound interest your child is getting. Compare this to you having a student account, for your child. Your child will not get this profit, or the compound interest will not be generated to your child. I've had one before for my kids. It did not work. You go there every year, they say, oh, you earn $20, you earn $40. That's how much the highest I've got is $40. So what I did, once I got this information, I transfer everything, all their money into this account for my kids. And luckily, one of my kids, she done with nursing school. She don't have any student loan. I have a student loan. My husband has a student loan. My other son has a student loan, but my daughter don't have a student loan. Why? Because we took money out to assist her in college, and she did not pay anything. We used the money that we get here to help her out. It has about 62 benefit. Some of the benefit, it even help you as the guardian, or I would say as the parent. It helps you out, something like the critical illness, chronic illness, terminal illness, or even taking money out. When it gets to a pension, when your child's, whatever age that they grow, that, let's say, hey, you have enough, let's say your child is very smart. They don't need any money, so they can have their money sitting growing for them. By the time they turn about 40 or 50 years, they're a millionaire. Start something small for them, and it doesn't mean everybody has to start something big for them. There is something in for everybody, We call something a cheeseburger policy. With a cheeseburger policy, you can start as little as $40 for your child. By the time the child gets to a certain age, they can take money out, and that can also assist them in school. Instead of you going in to borrow or stressed out, what am I going to do, when my child gets to college? And as we can see what is going on now, financial aid. I helped a couple of young folks. Some of them did get their financial aid, some of them didn't. They are still hanging in there waiting. So if their parent happens to have this for them, they will not even go through the financial aid. One advantage also, if you have the student account, for your child, they cannot, some of the state will say, hey, you open an account in your state, so that you have to make sure the child goes to school in that state. If the child decides to go to school in another state, then you have to pay some penalty to that, because the account that you open for your child, it was open at that state. So every state is different. You have to check with your state. Also, with that account, also, if the child has a scholarship, it goes to their disadvantage, because they think if your child has those accounts and stuff like that, they think, oh, they are privileged kids. So some of the things they don't qualify. That's what happens to my daughter. She has account, we have a personal account for her for school. I was saving. And then while she was applying for financial aid, the questions that they were asking, do you have this? Do you have that? And then they check everything with us. They say, oops, you don't qualify for anything. So she qualified for zero. We have to just go into this account and then take the money out to help her finish her school without taking any loan. Right. That's all we have. If anybody has any questions, you're more than welcome to ask.
Okay, so we are gonna open the phone lines for people to ask questions, as well as if people want to type in the questions, that we just go ahead and ask the questions for them. But my question is, so what about those that are already in a situation whereby they cannot do anything to help the kids right now? So you try to say the generational shortage is going to start from the kids, but not from the parents with the kids, but with the kids starting it right so that they can continue that process with their kids. So at this point, it's not going to be too feasible for, let's say, if I'm 60 years old and my kids are in their 30s or 20s, I cannot start anything better for them. Is there anything possible for
You
that?
can start something, um when can you start? Now. So you can start something for your kids. So as little as you have, when we sit down with you, we can create something for you, and then you can go from there. So from you would make the change first, and then it goes to your kids. So you have a policy that covers you. You have something for your child as well. You don't have to do big, the little that you have. So you have it, they have it, you break that problem right there. But some people say, I can't do too big, I can't do that. I remember the last time that I was on your show, somebody called me from Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
A lady called me from Illinois, and she's like, I've been thinking about this. I don't know what to do, but I was watching the show. Somebody sent me a text, and I was watching the show. So my question is, what if something happens to me? What am I going to do? That was her first question. And then the second question was, um, I have been thinking about what can I leave for my kids? How can I change this?
Mm-hmm.
So that is where we came in, and then we say, hey, this is how we're going to do it. We sat with her, we create the policy for her, and now then we create a policy for her kids. Even though her kids are in college, doesn't mean she cannot do that. So what she has covered the kids, and what the kids have cover each other, each of her kids, depending on how you want to do it. So if something happens to her, that generational uh, problem had been stopped right there. It starts from her. But some people also will say, let me start for my kids first. But you are the provider, you are the one providing for the kids. So you have to be covered first, and then the kids come in.
Okay, that's good. Well, whilst we're still looking into the questions, because I'm still going through Facebook and YouTube, try to find those questions. If you are ready to speak, please put your hands up or unmute yourself. Producer, if you can unmute everyone who is ready to speak so that people can actually ask their questions. Whilst I pull the other comments from Facebook and YouTube. But there, most of the times, a lot of people also look at this financial breakthrough as a I don't want to use the word Ponzi scam, but as a new dimension that could phase out anytime. How do you clear the myth about that?
Something that had been there for 120 years. It's just that we don't know about it. So if it is going to phase out, it should have, would have, could have long time ago. Somebody, I mean, I'm glad you said that. Somebody asked me, I mean, the folks who call when they watched the show the last time. It was, I think she's about 60 years. She said, somebody was just saying this, mommy, somebody was just telling me this, you know, they will just say this and then something else will happen and then we will not see, you know, the rare stuff that is going on. And how come this had been there when nobody knew about it? So then I asked her, I say, man, can I ask you a question without you being offended? She said, yeah. So I asked her, I said, I mean, I have not seen, so anybody can, you know, stand to be corrected. I said, have you ever seen Ferrari advertising or Rolls-Royce advertising? Have you seen them doing that? How many times do you see them on TV? Say, hey, we have Rolls-Royce. We need somebody to come and buy it. We have 15% off, 10% off. Do we see that? We don't. Why? Because they know themselves. But do you see Toyota every time? So
Yeah.
that is what we see. We always see Toyota. We always see Hyundai. It is there. Does it mean Rolls-Royce is not a car? It is. So you can see the difference. This is there. This has been there for many years. It's not going anywhere. It's just that our society don't know about it. Just like when most people came in, you have to go to nursing school. Nursing school became like, I don't know, about 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was a
Nursing
new
school,
ish. Nah, 50, yeah,
yes,
15, 10
everybody.
years ago, yep.
Yeah, nursing school, nursing school. I remember myself, I started nursing school halfway. I'm like, hey, no, no, no. It's not like I don't like nursing, but I'm like, I'm more into the mental health than the nursing. So I'm almost done. Then I left and I did something else, you know, that I was doing even when I had doing 2 degrees at the same time, you know,
Right.
because nursing is what we know. So you don't know if you don't know about it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist, and it doesn't mean it's going anywhere. There are books that when you read, you can see this had been there for many years. Um, the people at the top, they know it. Disney. If you read Money Wealth book, it's on Amazon, I think for $7 or $8. You can see how Disney find Disney to become who Disney is today. This is what they did. There are a lot of
Okay.
books that you can read that you can see this is not going anywhere else.
Okay. It's good that you kind of broke the myth out of that because that's one of the skeptical feelings and beliefs that other people has as well. So let's go to Admi. Admin says, wow, Admi just rose my last question for the day.
Mhm.
But I'm going to ask this question regardless, and after that, I can bring my question in. So, Admin wants to know, is it wise to invest in 401k instead of productive investment? What are some of the tips for saving as a low income person? Let me just go ahead and load my question in there. Most people that I know that are very successful claims that 401k is a scam and that you are better off investing in something else, property investment, instead of doing the 401k. What do you think of that as a financial advisor? Whilst you address admin's question, just add mine to it at the end once you're done.
Okay, so as a low income person, you can still do something when it comes to I mean, I can't speak so much about 401k, but like I said, when we sit and talk and do the full presentation to you, you're gonna see why this uh overcomes the 401k itself. It has a whole lot. I mean, if I had to go into it's a lot. When you sit do the entire presentation, we break down every bit of information that you need to know about 401k, checking, savings, everything. You're going to see everything in there. Even the people who work at the hospital, a Roth IRA, money market, we break everything down for you to see. Low income, that's why we say there's something in for everybody. So let's say the kid can afford $500,000 policy, but I cannot afford $500,000. I can afford 100,000. So I'm going to start somewhere. That doesn't mean I have to stop. When I get to know about this information, I think it was 2019, when I heard about, actually, I didn't hear about the information, but I knew my family need protection. I'm a little bit nosy. So I was just searching things and I said, what if something happens to us? As women, we think, what if something happens to my husband? What am I going to do? I didn't think about me first, but I was thinking, what if something happens to him? So then I just knew, oh, somebody was doing insurance at my church. So I just asked him, hey, I know you do this. I didn't even ask what type of life insurance it is. All I knew is I need a protection. So I had him do everything. And I asked, can my kids, get covered? He said yes. So we did something little. It wasn't big. Matter of fact, I did 250. My husband did 100,000. And he even went back and called them and said, cancel the policy. It's too much. Most of that everybody covered in the house. We don't need it. Then that is when the guy told him, hey, this is really serious. It's good that you have it. He didn't even explain that much, but all he said is, it's good that you have it, just keep it. So we kept it. As years pass by, I get to know more how important it is, which I wish then time I would have done bigger policies. And then once we get to know about it, then everything changed. Then we did,
Miss Millicent, can you, if
yes.
you're done with the PowerPoint, you can just take it off so that we can have you fully on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. That's
Okay.
awesome. So, you were talking about your family having the
The
life, the
low
insurance
income, yeah.
policy, and your husband wanted to call back and cancel because almost everybody was insured.
Yeah. So years after I get to find more information, then we just change the increase our policies, face amount. So you can do something later, even if you have low income. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You do something that will fit you.
Wow. That's crazy. It's sometimes, like you said, it's too good to be true, and that is what kind of make people call back, because as we all know, we Africans are a little bit skeptical getting into stuff like this, because it's like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into,
Mhm.
basically. But once you get into it, then you realize that, wait a minute, this is something good for myself and my family, and that I need to take advantage of it. So I'm glad that you're just sharing that with us, because that will really help us to become much more in tune with it. Um, Please, you have any question, just unmute yourself and ask the question. And if you want to type it in, we can always read it out to you. So, to alluding to admin's question, do you agree that 401k is a scam?
No,
You don't think so?
no, I don't think so.
Why? You do think it's a slower process, or just that
Well,
it?
I don't do 401k. So I
Oh,
can't
hold on a
speak.
minute. Hold on a minute. You don't think it's a scam, but you don't do it.
I don't, yeah, well, I don't do 401k. So we have expertise that do 401k and stuff. But something that you don't know, you can't say too much about, hey, it's a scam. No, I'm not in a
But
place to
share
say.
with us. What are
But
some of your reasons for not doing it?
um, I don't even have 401. I don't have 401k personally. Um,
Because
PK.
PK, I've heard a lot of rich people do not even do 401k. And the
Yes.
person that told me was actually, like I heard from 3 different people just in the period of the last time that we had the show, in the period of 2 months. I've heard from 3 different people saying, and you remember when the 401k was taking a nosedive and everybody was talking about it? Yes, exactly. I think 2 months ago. So I don't know.
That
That
is
was in
why we
April.
like
That
to
was
sit
last month. That
one-on-one.
was in
Yeah.
April.
Yeah, that is why we like to sit one-on-one and then go through with the person, because once you sit and do the policy, or you go through of creating the policy, you get to know more about the person. You get to know exactly what they need, what will help them. Some information are private. So that is why we cannot do it here. And then you get to educate them on a lot of stuff, so they can choose. If they have 401k, they can say, hey, I want to continue having my 401k. I don't know much, but for what I know with 401k, money can go up for 30 years and you are enjoying everything very good. In a minute, everything can go the other way. So there is, yeah, but I don't have a 401k and I will never have a 401k.
Well, you said it's not a scam, but you've said something that has really given us a good idea for what it is.
Yeah.
V says, I have 2 kids. Which of the policy can I do and which platform can I use?
Well, she can call me and then we can set that. She'll do the annual, but we can set down and set something for her. We don't, when we sit down with you and go through, we don't only just tell you do this. We want to educate you, because there are a lot of people out there that don't have this information. So once we educate you, you can also educate your kids. So they also know. We are trying to break the generational curse. We are trying to break the wealth. So we are not just here to say, hey, this policy is good, just go do it. We want you to get the education part of it.
Okay. All right. That is from V. Any more questions so that we can go ahead and ask before we let our sister go? We still got about 15 minutes. So please, if you have questions, let's not wait till the last minute. Let's go and ask the questions right now and get it out of the way. I am still trying to see if I'm missing anything on both Facebook and YouTube. All the questions that came, I have asked. And again, if you want to call and ask your question, Seth says 401k is not a scam. And Seth, I would be glad if you can just elaborate a little bit on that so that other people can know, because like she said the same. I think you're agreeing with her because she said the same thing. It's not a scam, but she just don't have it. So that could be a personal preference. And I'll say with what she does, I'd rather invest my money in that rather than invest in 401k and know that I make more than that. But again, to each his own, and 401k has its audience, target audience that serves diligently. Two, so if you are ready to speak, please unmute yourself and ask the question. I just allowed the unmute button. So if you unmute yourself, it will just go ahead and unmute you. State your name, where you're calling from, and ask your question. So, Ms. Millicent, let's look at it from this angle, right? In the case of where a family being successful, maintaining the family, generational money in the family, how can they multiply what they have without losing the main capital that they have? Because sometimes you can take a risk in doing something that will also bring the whole capital that the family has stand on to a standstill. How can one just multiply that? Because sometimes we are looking at this point, we are looking at breaking the generational curse of shorten money in the family. But one can also have money and still lose everything that they have. So apart from what you just told us right now, what are some of the good things that they can indulge in to maximize the money that they have?
So having this, when we said, you can say this is a guarantee. So whatever that you contribute, it goes for you. This is not a situation whereby if God forbid stocks goes down today, then you are stuck in the middle. Then, like you said, all the money is gone. This is not that kind of thing. This is whereby when they let you know in 15 years to come, let's say in 15 years to come, if you have $10, you're gonna have $20. It is guaranteed. You are not going to lose it. So I always even tell the young folks, if you have money, young folks who just finished college or they work in, something little. Whatever that you are doing, I'm not your financial advisor, but the advice that I give to my younger kids, that's what I tell most of the kids around me. If you are living with your parent, you are not paying any bills. You have access to 10% that you can spend. That is me, my rules. Spend your 10% on anything, because they have to go out, do stuff. The 90%, it's not your money. You are going to save it because you are not paying no rent. You are not paying no utility bills. So 90%, you are going to save it. You are going to pay your tithe, all the Christian stuff out of there, only if the kids will listen, with their tithe issues. But then make sure that 90% you save it. That 90%, make sure 50% out of that, you are going to put it in the IUL. Because 5 or
Instead of
10
IUL
years
again, for those who don't know what that stands for.
Universal, index universal life insurance.
Okay.
Once you put that 50% there, give yourself 5 to 10 years. Whoever is working, whatever they are doing, go put that money and see what you get in there. So you can save in that, you can put money in, there's a lot. There's a lot of benefit, but like I said, because of time, once you call in, we sit with you. They will even come back here and, one of the days they will tell you,
Give a
hey,
good testimony.
yes.
With that being
And I'm not
said,
saying,
let's go ahead and put your number in so that people can actually call you for the purpose of those who have joined early and maybe might be leaving for work so that they don't miss the contact information. So if you don't mind typing it in the chat. And Rex said, I joined in late today, still trying to catch up. So Rex, we are talking about how to break generational shortage in terms of money and also invest in your kids. Madam Millicent has made us understand that it's better to invest in your kids right now whilst they're young, and before they turn 18, they can actually reap the investment that you made out of them, and they can continue that as a family legacy. Even if there is no money in the family, they can be the startup point for this money to start coming into the family. So if you do contact her at 937-270-9882, she will do a personal tailored consultation with you that will help you understand things in your own way and makes you better when it comes to how and where to invest in. So that is what we've been talking about for the past 40 minutes. And we're about to wrap it up. Again, the mute button is taken off. So if anyone has a question, please let's not wait till the last minute and ask our questions right now, so that when the time is up for us to go, it won't be like we're rushing to get off the show. Lucas, the champion, says, what about investing in a 529 plan for your kids? First of all, tell us what a 529 is, because I don't even know what that is. What a 529 plan? And what he wants to know, what about that?
wow, the 529 is the account that you have for your kids for college.
Oh, okay, college fund.
Yeah, so that's simple. Once we start, you can tell, there are disadvantages to 529 account. Invest 5 years into 529 and invest 5 years into IUL. And you can come out and say it yourself, the difference.
But with your flyer, your lower third that we have, it did state that income protection, college fund. So with the
Yes.
college fund, is it coming through the IUL or is still through?
Yes.
Oh,
It's coming through. So let's say I have I can give back to you PK, but let's say I have
for
PK
for the-
as
for
my,
for the purpose of
for
this, I'm your son for the
yes,
purpose of this
yeah, for this
show.
purpose. So I
But
just
before
add
we're done with the
PK.
show, don't forget to put money in my account as your son too, and that won't be bad
I
at
hear
all.
you. I hear you. So let's say I had PK. PK, it's 2 weeks old. And then I want a policy because I already had, let's say I have Gladys who is 2 years already. So Gladys had an account. I had PK 2 weeks. I have a social security number for PK. So there I have opened my policy for PK at age what?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So I had this policy. PK is growing, everything is going on. PK, by the time PK 10, 18, he will have, let's say, contributions. I'm just giving you rough estimate because it's not accurate in my head. Once we sat down with you, you can see maybe each year you contribute, let's say, 3,500 into PK's account. By the time PK turns 18, PK can take out about 82,000. PK has $1 million policy. That $1 million policy is sitting there for PK. At the
So
same time, he can take
hold
out,
on. The numbers sounds good. So let me go ahead and do the math. So you said 18 years times 3,500, right?
yeah, it's just a rough estimate. I'm not accurate on that number, but
But
let's say
that is
3,500.
$63,000.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But then by the time PK is 18, he can take out 80,000.
But I'm taking out more than what I contributed.
That is why you call us, we sit with you. So there is a lot to this. There is
Okay.
a whole lot into this. So you see, at the same time, PK has a face amount of $1 million.
And what is that fixed amount? How did that come into
The
play?
face, well, you need a face amount to have, you need a policy generator to be able to get the compound interest growing for you. So you have to have that face amount, whatever face amount that you choose that you're going to contribute towards. So God forbid at that, by the time, PK, say PK parent have enough. So PK don't even need that 82,000 to go to college because PK grandmother already had money sitting for PK when she passed. So this is how the rich are getting rich because the grandmother, let's say she passed or she has some money sitting there for her grandkids. So by the time PK goes to college, grandma going to just fund PK college. So that 82,000 is sitting there. By
Just
the
becoming
time he
extra
turned like
money.
4 extra money, by the time he turned 40 or 50, he's already a millionaire. He can take $1 million out of his policy. And
Oh.
and that
So
million,
that $1 million is from 0 days to 40 years.
something like that and up. So everybody policy is different. That's why I said once we sat down with you, we can go. I mean, we cannot share that in here because it's internal use only. Once we sat down, you can see the numbers yourself. There is a whole lot. Uh, if you have 529, I know some of the kids, it goes to their disadvantage because you are a privileged kid. Your parents have it, they open this account for you. So if you have you're applying for your scholarship and stuff, some it goes to their disadvantage because they have that 529 account. But with this account, it does not in any way, it does not count towards anything.
Okay. John Agbe says, are people outside of US eligible? How would you juxtapose
So
returns or claims against inflation?
power, I say power of companies. No, US and Canada.
Only US and Canada. All right.
Yeah.
And Dameli says the power of compound interest. The power of compound interest. Please, the number is 937-270-9882. The number again is 937. If you're calling outside US with the Canadians, just put +1. So +1 937 270 9882. Again, the number is +1 937 270 9882. Call Ms. Millicent and just have all your questions tailored to you and also answer. Like she said, there's some stuff that she cannot talk about because they are just for internal use only. So please make sure you take advantage of that and help yourself out with it, because that sounds to me like you can set up your kids up from age 0 to 40, 50, and now they're already millionaires, whilst you are still trying to chase the $1 million dream. All right, if there is no more questions at this point, Ms. Millicent will ask you to just give us your final words and wrap it up. But before she does that, I just want to give a quick note. Next week we will be having a legal presentation next week, so please stay tight. I know how you guys love to listen to legal stuff. But yeah, now the legal one. Legal fees, though. But you be service so that it won't end up being legal issues. They be before you're a champion too. You pay the reverse osmosis. So yes, next week we're gonna be having a legal presentation. So please stand by, stay tuned, and make sure you tell a brother what's gonna happen next week. But for the meantime, Ms. Millicent is gonna give us a wrap-up message before we leave. Oh, Rex says, what's the best investment package, Ms. Millicent?
Oh, just
Is it the
call
IUL?
and sit down. Yeah, you can know one-on-one what is best for you.
Okay.
Once we sit down with you. Yeah.
All right. They want to sit down with you and talk to you about it so that they present to you different options where you can choose from based on your personal life, because what is best for you may not be best for me, and what is best for me may not be best for none Lord. So just call, talk about your personal stuff, and they'll be able to tell you what will be best for you. Because, for instance, Lord may be able to invest in maybe a $2 million package, whilst mine will be only $100,000 package, which may be fine for me, because at the end of the day, $82,000 and no net target, so what I say. All right, we'll see you for Ms. Millicent, please, wrap it up, give us a little your final words, and let's wrap up the show.
All right, I'll say thank you for the viewers, and thank you, PK, for this opportunity. I'll also say, please don't hesitate. There's never a stupid question. Some people will say, I don't want to ask any stupid question, but you are more than welcome. Or I say, previously I say, I'm nosy. I kept asking questions and stuff like that. That's how I get to know too. So we are open. Even if you don't do something, you can obtain the knowledge and share with your family and your loved ones. So don't hesitate to call, at any time. You can call at any time. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Millicent. Again, her number is 937 270 9882. And producer, can you please do me a favor and just put up the links to the WhatsApp chat? So we have two different WhatsApp platforms. One to discuss topics that we want to hear and see and treat on the show, which is the His Royal Empire chat family, like His Royal Empire family chat room. And also we have the Friends of Tatap Sand, where we discuss anything that has to do with Tatap Sand, and also any of the concerns that you have concerning your app, sending money back home. Okay, A-Class just posted a link in there, so please click on both links and just join the family to be part of the family as well. We welcome you with all the best of warm wishes when you get to the platform. And like I said, it's a big community where we do discuss things that will help us and also things that we would like to see. At this point, I'm going to say big thanks to all our sponsors for helping us bring the show to you, and also big thank you to you, the viewers, for taking time out of your busy schedule to actually share with us and also learn something that is more productive and also educative to help us become debt free, and also not just for us but our generation as they come. And also big thanks to the producers, Nana Lord, Nana Kwesi Wideout, A Class, and Danny for helping bringing the show to you. And big thanks to Tap Send for making this show possible. Means at this point, I'm going to hand over the show to our Uncle Jimmy, whilst he brings to you the Q&A section for Tap Send. Q&A section for Tap. This is where you ask all your questions concerning Tap Send, and there will be a reward today. So please do not leave, especially the mothers. I'm not saying the fathers should leave or the brothers or the uncles should leave, but our mothers, please do not leave. If you were not part of the first segment, please, and you know of any mother, call that mother to be on it. But I would rather say, Akoko be on the Nigeria area bebesre. It's more mutrasi by share first session. I said, no. Well, if I was you, I'll be a little bit selfish and just stick behind and just get that award. Don't go through people no be joining. That's a no be with ya. Hey, I said what I say now. I say Kromeni atra na oho abeto abonti promo into the no. Stay tuned, do not leave, and again, do not forget to click on both links, the HITV family link and also the Friends of Tap Send link as well. Uncle Jimmy, over to you.
Okay, Director PK,